What if I told you that the people dominating in their field aren't working harder than you? They're building smarter. What if momentum isn't something you chase? It's something you engineer. By the end of this video, you'll know a method so simple it feels almost unfair. Once you see it, you won't look at habits the same way again. Chapter 1. The Momentum Myth. Most people think momentum requires constant action. But meet Sarah, a college student who was drowning. Juggling 3 part-time jobs and full-time classes, she was exhausted. Then she made one shift. Instead of working harder, she started working consistently on one thing for just 15 minutes daily. That's it, 15 minutes. No burnout, just momentum. Within 3 months, she'd built a side business that now funds her entire education. Her secret? She stopped confusing activity with momentum. Being busy doesn't equal progress. Strategic people understand that one decision implemented daily beats 100 decisions implemented once. Now consider Marcus, a 45-year-old professional stuck in the same role for 7 years. He watched younger colleagues get promoted, frustrated. He started spending 20 minutes every morning learning one new skill in his industry. Just 20 minutes. He didn't quit his job. He didn't work weekends. He built momentum through consistency. Within 18 months, he was promoted twice. Why? Because momentum compounds. Here's what both Sarah and Marcus understood. Your brain is like a river. At first, water needs force to flow in a new direction. But once the channel is carved, water flows naturally. That's momentum. That's what happens when you build systems instead of chasing goals. You're not fighting the current anymore. You've become the current. The framework. The consistency principle. Choose one daily action, 15 to 30 minutes. Do it at the same time every day. Track it visibly. Calendar, app, journal. Never miss twice in a row key insight. Real momentum isn't about heroic effort. It's about relentless repetition. Now, here's where most people fail. They understand this, but don't apply it. Stick with me, because next I'm showing you the compound effect, and it's where momentum becomes unstoppable. Chapter 2. The compound effect you're ignoring. 1% better every single day doesn't add up. It multiplies. Scientists call this the compound effect, and is the most underestimated force in human achievement. But here's what most people miss. The compound effect only works if you remove the obstacles that interrupt it. Meet Jennifer, a parent juggling work and 2 kids. She felt mediocre at everything, spread too thin. Then she discovered the compound effect principle, and it changed how she saw herself. Instead of trying to be perfect at everything, she committed to being just 1% better at one thing, her relationship with her kids. 1% better meant putting her phone down during dinner. 1% better meant one extra question at bedtime. 1% better meant showing up consistently, even on hard days. Nothing revolutionary, right? 2 years later, her kids' grades improved. Their behavior improved. Her marriage strengthened. She didn't work harder. She worked smarter on what actually mattered. The dangerous momentum builder removes friction. They create systems that make the right choice the easy choice. They build environments where momentum is maintained automatically, not through willpower. Think about this. If your system requires constant motivation, your system is broken. Real systems work even when motivation disappears. Consider David, an entrepreneur who was working 80-hour weeks but going nowhere. He was busy but not effective. Then he implemented the compound effect differently. Instead of working longer, he worked on systems that freed time. He automated email responses. He hired contractors. He outsourced non-critical tasks. His hours dropped. His revenue tripled. The implementation checklist. Identify one area where 1% daily improvement matters most. Design a system that requires minimal willpower. Make it easy. Track progress visibly, weekly snapshots. Remove one friction point every week. Review monthly. Is the system working, or do you need to adjust? Mini summary. So far, We've seen how tiny wins change identity and how your environment makes good choices automatic. Next, I'll show you how combining them creates unstoppable momentum. Because here's the thing about compound growth, it's quiet at first, then it's everywhere. Chapter 3: The 3 layers of momentum. Most people only understand one layer of momentum: external results. But there are 3 layers. You need all of them. Meet Thomas, a middle school teacher who felt stuck. He was going through the motions, nothing clicked. Then he understood the 3 layer system. The first layer: internal momentum, the compounding confidence that comes from keeping promises to yourself. Thomas started small. He promised himself he'd stay 10 extra minutes after class to help one struggling student every single day. Just one student. He kept that promise to himself. Day after day after day. His self-trust exploded. He started keeping other promises to himself. Working out twice a week. Reading one educational book monthly. His internal momentum became visible. That's when layer 2 kicked in. Skill momentum. As Thomas practiced consistently, his teaching improved. His understanding deepened. His classroom became magnetic. Students wanted to learn. Other teachers noticed. Then, layer 3 happened. External momentum. Thomas was asked to lead teacher training. He got promoted to department head. Opportunities found him. But here's the secret. The external momentum was just a consequence of the first 2 layers working together. The dangerous momentum builder focuses on internal and skill momentum first. External momentum follows naturally. That's why some people seem to have everything handed to them, while others hustle constantly and go nowhere. Now, contrast this with Rebecca, a consultant who chased external wins first. New clients, bigger contracts, higher fees. But she never invested in internal momentum or skill development. She felt like a fraud. She couldn't deliver. Clients left. She burned out. She learned the hard way. External momentum without the other 2 layers is a house built on sand. The 3-layer protocol: internal momentum, one daily promise to yourself and keep it. Skill momentum, one weekly investment in getting better. External momentum. This naturally follows when layers 1 and 2 are strong. Connection point. These 3 layers aren't separate. They're interconnected. When you strengthen one, the others strengthen too. And that's exactly how you break free from the motivation trap. Which brings us to our next discovery, Chapter 4, Breaking the Motivation Addiction. You've been sold a lie. Great people are motivated, right? Wrong. Great people have systems. Motivation is unreliable. Systems are unstoppable. Meet Alex, a fitness enthusiast who'd started and stopped workouts 100 times. He'd get motivated, go hard for 3 weeks, burn out, restart, repeat. The cycle was killing him. Then he stopped relying on motivation. He built a system instead. Here's what he did. He committed to showing up at the gym every morning at 6 a.m., regardless of how he felt. No decision, no motivation required, just a protocol. For the first month, he hated it. Dragged himself there. But something shifted. The decision-making stopped. His brain stopped negotiating. He just went. And within 6 months, he was the most consistent person in his gym. His results were unstoppable because he'd removed motivation from the equation. Motivation is like the weather. It changes constantly. You can't build long-term success on something so unstable. The dangerous momentum builder breaks their addiction to motivation and builds protocols instead. Your brain is lazy by design. It conserves energy. Trying to motivate yourself constantly is like trying to push a boulder uphill every single day. Exhausting. Pointless. Instead, build a system where the boulder rolls downhill on its own. Remove decisions. Create triggers. Build automation. Consider Angela, a student struggling to study. She waited for motivation. It never came. Then she created a trigger. Every day at 4 p.m., her phone notification would remind her to study. She didn't have to decide. She just showed up. Same place, same time, same routine. Her grades improved not because she became more motivated, but because she removed the need for motivation. The protocol building framework. Identify what you want to achieve. Skill, habit, result. Remove all decisions. Same time, same place, same process. Create environmental triggers, phone reminder, specific location. Never rely on how you feel. Build accountability. Tell someone. Track publicly. Key, insight. Motivation is temporary. Systems are permanent. When you stop relying on motivation and start relying on systems, something shifts. You begin to move forward regardless of how you feel. That's when real momentum builds. And here's where it gets exciting, because when your momentum becomes obvious to others, everything changes. Chapter 5. The Momentum Multiplier Effect. Here's what separates good performers from legendary ones. They understand that momentum compounds with other people's momentum. When you build something genuinely valuable, others start adding their momentum to yours. Your work gets amplified, your reach expands, your impact multiplies beyond what you could create alone. Meet Kevin, a software developer who built a side project just for fun. He shared it online because he believed in it. A few people used it, then more. Then his momentum attracted other developers who wanted to contribute. They added their skills, their energy, their network. What started as Kevin's project became a community. His momentum multiplied. Today, that project serves thousands of users. Kevin didn't do it alone. He attracted momentum. This is network momentum. This is when a movement forms. The dangerous momentum builder doesn't just build alone. They attract collaborators, allies, and believers who add their own momentum to the mission. Together, the force becomes unstoppable. But here's the catch. You have to build enough internal momentum first. Nobody wants to jump on a ship that's sinking. Everyone wants to jump on a ship that's clearly sailing forward. Meet Lisa, an entrepreneur who tried to build a team before building credibility. She had no track record, no proof of concept, no momentum. Nobody wanted to follow. She spent 2 years building solo, growing slowly, but genuinely. Then when she brought people on board, they believed. Because they could see the momentum, her growth exploded. This is the momentum protection protocol. You must build momentum alone first. Prove the system works with just you. Then, and only then, do you scale by adding others. Because momentum is contagious, but only if it's real. The multiplier effect checklist. Build internal momentum first, solo success. Document your results, make momentum visible. Share your journey, attract believers. Select collaborators who share your values. Scale gradually, don't dilute what's working. Mini summary. We've moved from understanding how momentum builds individually to how it compounds within you, to how it multiplies with others. You now have the framework, but here's what separates knowledge from results. Chapter 6. The Single Habit Rule. You know what kills momentum faster than anything? Backsliding. You build it up, you feel great. Then one bad day happens, then two. Then you're back to zero. Most people don't have a backsliding prevention strategy. That's why they fail. Stick with me because I'm about to give you the single habit rule. This is the habit rule that prevents momentum collapse. Meet Jordan, a writer who'd hit a wall before. Built momentum for 3 months. Then took a week off to handle an emergency. Couldn't get back in. The momentum evaporated. This time, he implemented the single habit rule. No matter what happened, he would write 100 words daily. That's it. Not 1,000, not 5,000, just 100. Sounds small, right? It is. That's the point. On hard days, he'd write 100 words and feel like he won. On good days, he'd write 1,000. But the floor was 100 words. Never zero. Never a complete break. His momentum never broke. and his consistency attracted a literary agent who wanted to represent him. The single habit rule is this: identify the smallest version of your momentum that still counts as a win. Then make that your non-negotiable floor. Never go below it. Consider Maya, a fitness enthusiast who implemented this. On normal days, she works out for an hour, but her single habit rule: 5 minutes of movement. That's the floor. Stretch, walk, dance, anything. When life got chaotic, she'd hit her 5 minutes, and that 5 minutes kept her momentum alive, kept her identity as someone who moves, kept her engine running. The single habit framework: identify your momentum, current habit, or goal. Design the smallest valuable version of it. Make that your non-negotiable floor. Never go below it, even on worse days. Use this as your momentum insurance policy. This is how you build momentum that lasts. Not through heroic effort on good days, through consistent minimums on all days. Conclusion: you now understand momentum. You've seen how it builds through consistency, how it compounds with the right systems, how it multiplies through collaboration, how it survives through non-negotiable minimums. But knowledge without action is just entertainment. Strategic thinking is worthless unless it becomes strategic doing. Here's your challenge. Pick one action from this video, just one, not 3, not 5, one, and implement it in the next 48 hours. Maybe it's the 15-minute daily practice. Maybe it's the single habit rule. Maybe it's identifying your 3 momentum layers. Pick it. Do it. Feel the momentum start. This is how legends are built. Not through inspiration, through implementation, not through motivation, through systems, not through shortcuts, through consistency. The dangerous momentum builder isn't smarter than you, isn't luckier than you, isn't more talented than you. They just decided to compound their efforts over time while everyone else looked for quick fixes. The choice is yours. Will you chase motivation or build momentum? Will you work harder or work smarter? Will you stay where you are or become dangerously unstoppable? The answer starts with one decision, one action, one day. Make it count. Finally, if this resonated with you, hit that like button. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe so you don't miss the next video where I break down the exact system I use to maintain momentum for months without burnout. And remember, momentum isn't luck, it's a skill, and skills can be learned. The question isn't whether you can build it. The question is, when will you start? Let's go build something dangerous.